You're good.
All right. Good to go?
I think so. Here we go. Should be it.
All right.
Am I to look at you or the camera?
Look at Dominic.
Look at me.
All right.
Okay. So President Kennedy comes and speaks on Federal Steps. What was the significance of that speech? What was the significance of him coming here?
Well, first of all, the campaign is epic in West Virginia political history and in American political history. You know that no Roman Catholic had ever been elected president before Kennedy. So he came to a very heavily Protestant state. And the Democratic primary battle between him and Hubert Humphrey is really a landmark in American history. For the first time, a Catholic had won a major significant victory. And finally, I think, putting to rest the anti-Catholic strain in American history, which is one of many obstacles we've had to overcome to try to become the kind of country we should be. Now, Kennedy was also very sympathetic to the civil rights movement. And he understood, I think, the future of politics in America, that black people would be much more involved, that the civil rights movement would overturn barriers of segregation and discrimination. So coming to a place like State, which had been integrated but was still historically black, he was making a statement. He was making a powerful political statement. And of course, for many years, for a national politician to go to a black institution would have ruined his chances. And so the Kennedy coming here thus is important. Nationally, it's important locally, and for the history of this institution as well. The federal government has been instrumental in helping this school. Today, the Title III money that we get funds most of our non-academic programs. And so I think that Kennedy's visit here was very important for the state, for him, for this institution as well. And the idea of some commemoration of that historic event, it's altogether fitting and appropriate.
Okay. So what would be the significance of having a statue represent that on Farrell Hall?
Memorials, statues, markers, monuments are mute testimony to important events, and they serve the purpose of reminding us of the values that those events express. If you look at a statue of Kennedy, you would have to constantly ask yourself, why is that statue here? What does it mean? Why is that significant? And so just like markers on Civil War battlefields remind us of what occurred and teach us never to forget, that's the purpose. I think that Kennedy's message ought to be one that all Americans internalize, but having a statue to remind us is a pretty good one. Remember also that Kennedy came back to West Virginia on West Virginia's centennial anniversary. That would be June the 20th, 1963. He stood on the steps of the Capitol in a pouring rain, thanked the people of West Virginia for the primary victory which propelled him to the Democratic nomination to beat Richard Nixon in 1960. And he gave a famous speech there. It was just 6 months before his assassination. And he said, the sun may not shine in West Virginia, but the people always do. And it's kind of an important event in West Virginia's history. And you know, we haven't attracted, we're a small state, don't have a lot of votes. We haven't attracted a lot of campaign attention. And so the fact that the Kennedy campaign came here and staked all their marbles on this is highly significant.
Well, last but not least, if they ever had a campaign of, making the statue, would you be in support of it, and why?
I would certainly be in support of it. And there is considerable precedent for students' activity to result in significant monuments on campus. In between the library and the student center is a stone marker erected by the students with the name of every student organization on it. Okay. When you see that, it reminds you that as a student you need to be involved in the life of the institution. It reminds you that other people are willing to spend their extracurricular time to try to make this institution all that it could be. And so I would certainly support it, sure.
All right, well, thank you for your time, Dr.
My pleasure, Dominic. That's a good cause, a worthy cause.